Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Deep True Crime. I'm Manny Rodriguez. In today's episode, we're covering the breaking news of the new charges against Casey White. Casey White is the Alabama prisoner who escaped with the prison guard, Vicki White, and was on the run for 11 days before finally being caught. And today, some new charges have come down on this guy who's already facing the possibility of a death sentence. Alabama prisoner Casey White has been charged with the murder of his prison guard lover, Vicki White, after she helped him escape prison and they went on the run for 11 days before being caught. Casey and Vicky, they staged a well-planned escape from a Florence, Alabama jail for what she falsely claimed was a mental health evaluation on April 29th of 2022. They then swapped vehicles and they used disguises as they made it across 3 states. The pair were on the run for 11 days when Vicky was shot dead after a police chase in Evansville, Indiana. Authorities said at the time that she shot herself in the head, and Casey White was immediately arrested after the chase on May 9th. And now we find out that Casey White is being indicted for murder, but it did not state that he shot Vicky. He's just being held responsible for her death. You see, in Alabama, a person can be charged under Alabama's felony murder statute if the alleged offense involves a felony clearly dangerous to human life, and if that person during the course of or flight from said offense causes the death of another person. And that's one of the reasons why he is being connected to her death. And let's give you a really quick recap. On April 29th at 9:49, the pair are seen leaving the Lauderdale County Jail. And this is where Vicky lied about his mental health appointment. And so she nonchalantly walks in. Of course, she's one of the most trusted employees of this. And they just walk out with like nothing. And you can even see, like, I feel like the way she let go of that door was a little, I know I'm doing something wrong. The way she opened that door and kind of closed it on him, it was more like, all right, just follow, let's go, we gotta go type stuff. And she's just calmly trying to keep her cool, knowing they're going on the run in a big way. And then a little while later, that same day, they're picked up on gas station security footage passing through the gas station turning from the light. And then about 11 minutes later, they ditch the police cruiser and then pick up this orange 2007 Ford Edge. And then in Williamson County, Tennessee, that same Edge was found at a towing yard. And you can see by some of these pictures right here, they actually tried to paint it to disguise themselves a little more in the vehicle that they were driving. That did not turn out so well, as you can tell. And then on May 3rd, Casey White is spotted at a car wash by the car wash owner who saw surveillance video and realized this is the people that they have been searching for. And then on May 9th, authorities finally capture the runaways and taken in. The indictment, it shows that this 6'9" prisoner has been charged with first-degree escape and in the course and furtherance of committing escape in the first degree, which caused the death of Vicki White, who died from a gunshot wound to the head. And a coroner did rule that Vicki had died as a result of self-inflicted gunshot wounds to the head after the two lovers had spent 11 days on the run. And so on May 9th, Vicki and Casey were traveling in the same car when cops in Evansville started to pursue them. And Vicki spoke to 911 dispatchers in the moments before her death and could be heard saying, airbags are going off. Let's get out and run. And officers there arrived at the scene stating that she was still breathing, but in audio that was released by Indiana authorities, the dispatcher claims they hear her say she had her finger on the trigger. Listen to this.
Out in an open field along Baumgart.
We're still trying to get that vehicle.
Just want to make clear he's still inside the vehicle. Clear on, he's crashed out, still inside the vehicle. No, still going to be in the vehicle. We believe we possibly have him on 911. When we could hear her on the line saying she had her finger on the trigger. They're in a field off Baumgart and Birch. Shot victim. Female is still armed. Male apparently has shot himself. Female still armed.
And so you can hear when she speaks there, she says, the 911 dispatcher says she had her finger on the trigger. And in the initial confusion, they believed that Casey White had shot himself and then requested a negotiator before a second voice says that one is not needed. And you can see by this footage that it shows Casey being dragged out of the crumpled car by his hands as officers kneel on him to handcuff him. And another officer kneeling by the overturned car says she still got the gun in her hand. And one adds, she's still breathing. I can see her chest rising, fingers still on the trigger. She could pull that trigger again. So they were worried that she would actually pull that trigger again. And a third video that was released by the police showed them searching a Ford truck, which is one that the couple had abandoned before switching to the Cadillac. An officer searches the vehicle, then tells his colleagues there's no paperwork, a little bit of trash, and a charger and a Glock magazine loader. An Indiana sheriff said that the pair was carrying $29,000 in cash, 4 handguns, and an AR-15 rifle, and were prepared for a shootout when they were captured. And so at the end of this manhunt, officers and police and law enforcement, they're all trying to put this together and see what happened during the 11 days that has gone by after Vicki escorted Casey from the prison in Alabama. The inmate and Vicki White appeared to have a jailhouse romance. As for her role in the escape, the sheriff said he was not forcing her. It was a mutual relationship. Casey, he had been awaiting trial at the Florence prison for reportedly stabbing Connie Ridgway, who died at the young age of 58 years old, to death during a 2015 burglary. And at the time of the breakout, he had been serving a 75-year sentence for attempted murder and other offenses. He had confessed to the crime, claiming he was paid to commit the heinous act. If convicted, he could get the death penalty. And you can see where the sheriffs in Indiana were seen investigating the crumpled wreck of the car in which Vicki White killed herself. Sheriffs pulled Vicki White out from the car after they ran the Cadillac off the road. Initially, they called for negotiators after believing Casey had a gun, and that's when they said no need for that. And so Vicki White was taken out of the car and laid on the grass beside the wreck. Investigators believe that the pair spent about 6 days holed up at a motel in Evansville after arriving on May 3rd and discovered a variety of wigs as a way to disguise themselves. And authorities closed in on them after the manager of a car wash reported that a man closely resembling the 6'9" Casey White had been recorded by her surveillance camera getting out of a pickup truck. They were spotted outside this motel that was nearby this car wash. Investigators said they located the pickup, then learned that the pair may have switched to a Cadillac, which was then spotted outside a motel nearby. The Motel 41 manager, Paul Shaw, speaking exclusively to Daily Mail, he said they stayed in a room not in their name. Somebody else rented the room and checked them in. A local man with a local ID checked in and signed the stub. I never saw them. I wish I had, but they stayed in the room. And he says, people come and go here. We don't keep track. Rooms at the motel are all accessed independently by exterior doors, meaning that guests do not need to walk through the small reception area except to use the vending machine or to check in. And the Motel 41 manager, who is also an electrical engineer by trade, said that he works the morning shift and never saw White or Vicki. And when the couple left the motel, police chased them down, with Casey later telling the investigators after he was captured that he was probably going to have a shootout at the stake of both of them losing their lives. Now, a warrant was issued on May 2nd for Vicki White, charging her with permitting or facilitating escape. And authorities said the plan appeared to have been in the works for some time. She sold her house for about half its market value and bought an SUV that she stashed at a shopping center without license plates. According to U.S. Marshals, the couple then spent $6,000 on a Ford F-150, which was spotted parked at an odd angle at an Evansville car wash, where White was also pictured on surveillance footage. As you can see by this here, where he is pictured on surveillance footage. Now, the Lauderdale County Sheriff Rick Singleton, he believes that Vicki was the mastermind of this escape plan, but he said it's unclear who came up with the idea to get Casey out. And now we wait to see what happens next for this convict. We do know that they dropped the escape case for now, with the intention of bringing it back later. Now we know he's being charged with her murder. And again, they're not saying he pulled the trigger. They're saying because of his act of violence and this bad thing that they both did, for him to escape, for her to commit this crime for him, to aid him, to help him, and then in the end lose her life because of him. He's responsible for her death, not because he shot her. She allegedly shot herself. He's just being charged with the crime. Again, in Alabama, a person can be charged under Alabama's felony murder statute if the alleged offense involves a felony clearly dangerous to human life, and if that person during the course of or flight from said offense causes the death of another person. So that's why he's being charged, causing the death of another person. My friends, thank you for joining me today. If this is the type of content you like to follow, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Let me know you got some value. If there's a particular case you would like me to cover, let me know in the comments, or send me an email at deeptruecrime@gmail.com. I'm Manny Rodriguez. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have an amazing day. Peace.